Hey guys, before we start with this video, I just want to remind you I have a giveaway going on. It's going to have a few more days going on, so if you want to check the link that's going to be posted right here, and there'll also be a link down below to that giveaway video if you're interested in entering. Watch the whole video so you know the qualifications and everything to go about it. But anyways, on with the video. Thanks for watching. What is going on? So, I already made a video about talking about budget and Yu-Gi-Oh! But you know, I'm kind of a, how do I put this? I'm a cheap bastard when it comes to buying things, and especially as of late, because I've saving money for things and purchasing things. But anyways, when it comes to this game, I am definitely budget. So I'm gonna explain to you how to be budget in this game. Now I'm not saying I'm a master, and I bet there's definitely people who can do this better. But I'm gonna give some tips and some hints of what to do and what to look out for to maybe budget in this game a bit easier, and how to help you plan out builds or how to obtain cards, I guess you could say, even though most people know how to obtain cards, and a lot of this might be self-explanatory, but for newer players or people you don't exactly know, this could be helpful. So let's give some hints and tips of how I budget in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how to get decks, and even if you want good decks, this could apply to some degree. So let's get on with some tips. The first one is, and this is actually the biggest major one, if you are planning on a certain deck to build or to play or whatever, I don't even care if you're taking it to a tournament, if you don't have the cards at all remotely, extra deck or anything, like you are completely building it new, do not build it between ban list period. Now ban list, it's always kind of changes of when they release it, but for the most part, if the ban list is due sometime soon, don't do it, because ban list anticipation boosts cards up, and then around after the ban list gets released, depending on what changes too, so that could also kill a deck you're planning to buy, so that's why I don't recommend buying a deck anytime within the month before a ban list. But also afterwards, prices fluctuate until they start to steady after a ban list. Now, like Pot of Desires, even though the ban list didn't really affect the format this bad this time, it has fluctuated constantly, and it might just be an individual card thing, but with that being said, if you needed that in your deck, buying it at certain times can be better. And that can work against you too. Sometimes buying it early can help you in the long run, but you never really know. So I'm saying in the long run, it's sometimes safer to just wait until the whole ban list hype period is over and card prices settle out before you purchase a deck. And that might sound self-explanatory, but you have no idea how many people try to hype on the ban list train trying to predict what's going to happen. And a lot of times people are wrong. There are some people who turn out right and they can sometimes make a profit, but if you were just buying a deck specifically for playing, I would wait till the ban list hype train is over. Now you may say individual buying cards. How do I go about this? Well, you can go to a local trader at a locals, or you can go to a local card shop, but from what I have found, this card shop's somewhat overpriced, not always, it always depends on card shop, so you can't quote me for that, but a lot of people like to go to actual retailers online, and you think they can find the best prices, and that's true, don't get me wrong, that is definitely true, because that is what you have to do, but you have to source. You have to look around. It's like shopping for anything else. I recommend checking multiple sites, more reliable sites. Even going to Amazon. Amazon's prices are a little bit more than most card shops and eBay, but if you go to Amazon, there's always sellers. There's like a main seller that they pick for you, but if you look in the bottom, they'll usually actually have reputable sellers from actual card websites with good prices. And vary those out to find the prices are better for you and how to pick them out and what cards work better. Like, I forget what card it was I was buying, this was a while back, and I was kind of in a rush, and I just went and put it in my cart, and I was about to purchase it. I was like, you know, that seems kind of high, and I looked around, and I found a price on another retailer. It was like $6 cheaper, and it was still a reputable dealer. And I looked around, and the price was actually usually more of the other ones. So sometimes you can just find a dealer, it's like, yeah, you know, we're having a special, or some cards are just discounted for. So check other retailers, don't just go to one card website and always buy from that. I know that might sound wrong, but like some people are only partial to one website, and I don't recommend that. Check around if you're building a deck, and especially if you're on a budget, which this is what it's about. So if you're on a budget, let's watch it. This goes along with buying cards and budget, but the third one is do not buy high rarity to some degree. Sometimes cards get reprinted in high rarity and it doesn't really inflate the cost, but if cards have a higher rarity and they also have a lower rarity, and usually the original print would be the lower rarity one, not always, but Like Upstart Goblins $5, Ultra Upstart Goblins like $10, or they were. I haven't checked those prices in forever, but that's what it used to be. Of course, do not get the Ultras or the Gold Rares or whatever they were. I forget. Like I don't know it off the top of my head, but that rarity, unless if you have the idea of buying a card decked out already, don't do it because you're going to be spending more money. And I know once again this is self-explanatory, but for newer players, at all possible buy commons and rares if they have those available because they will usually be cheaper. And my opinion, and somebody else commented this in my last video about card rarity, I think decks look cleaner when they're all commons and like supers and then have like, I don't know, it's a personal thing, but whatever. If you're a rarity guy, you know what money you're going to spend, but if you're on a budget, rarity is just not an option. Just saying. It's not a thing to go for. Now this is a major one. So we already talked about buying a deck and what to do about banlist, and there's other ways you can go about buying a deck. But if you have core cards, and I see a lot of people do this, but not as many people do it. If you have the core cards you need, like draw, power, traps, all that extra deck, do not buy whole decks. Now, a lot of people don't do this, but once again, if you're newish to the game, buy a card starter deck, kind of, on eBay. People make them. They call them core decks, things like that. eBay's a good place for it, and you get a really significant low price. It's just basically the deck cards that you need, like a play set of 3 monsters like here, and here, the boss monster, and it might come with an extra deck card or 2 that you might need for that specific deck that aren't like, not vanilla staples, but like the staples that are played in every deck, like the ones that are archetype specific. Those are a lot cheaper to buy a deck core than it is to buy a whole deck. Once again, everybody already knows that, but if you're new to the game, something to know, don't buy whole new decks if you already have the cards, or some of the main cards you need. If you already have all the traps and spells you need, like Dark Holes and Raigekis and stuff, don't pay more money for a full deck that has all those cards in it already when you already have them and you don't need them. Self-explanatory, yes, but once again, some people don't know, so yeah. And this is my final 2. First, this is going to be a quick one. I'm not going to go into it. Don't buy boxes unless if you're somebody that actually knows what they're doing and knows how to retail and resell. I would not buy boxes. It's just not money working. But anyways, that's just a quick one. Just don't buy cards in mass amounts, like in boxes and booster packs. Definitely don't do individual booster packs if you're going to open cards. But the main one is don't be a multi-deck guy. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I've done it. I've bought multiple decks and full cards. But if you're on a budget, complete one deck fully. Sometimes when you're spread out on cards, you have, instead of one super powerful deck, you'll have like 5 not so powerful decks because you're spreading out trap cards and stuff in between them, and you don't fully complete all of them. Not always the case, but when you get into playing with different decks because you enjoy them and stuff, it tends to happen. Make one deck if you're on a budget. Don't worry about making other ones. Sell the one you have and get another one if you really want to do that. Make one deck. Use all your money on it. Don't scatter like, oh, you know what, well, I'll pay like $30 to get these 3 structure decks so I could play it for a little bit, or so-and-so. Sell your deck if you want to build this new deck, if you're on a budget. Once again, if you have the money and you are willing to spend it on other decks, that's a whole different topic. We're talking about if you're being on a budget. Do not go around and make a bunch of different decks, because that doesn't help you. And once again, self-explanatory, but you know, yeah. Here, guys, those are my tips. Once again, people already know a lot of this, and I've already said that about 10 times, but I have to repeat that so people are like, hey, this is so easy, everybody knows it. There's a lot of people that may not actually think about that, and there's a lot of people that are new to the game and don't really know what's up all the time. And I'm not a master of the game, of course, but like I said, this is a lot of things that most people would tell new players. But making a video out there of how to budget in Yu-Gi-Oh! So let me know down below if you guys have any budgeting tips. I feel like there's a few more I could probably say, but these are some main ones. So let me know down below what you would do to budget and what helps you budget. Another main thing I could say is just watch how much you spend, because when you invest into Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot more money can go out the window quicker than you think, especially if you're buying boxes. But hey, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Peace out. Bye.
Damn.